Hello, welcome to the Midnight Bible Study. The nuclear prophecy of Iran is happening right now. It's unfolding. October 1st, 2024, Iran launched over 200 ballistic missiles. Most were intercepted and failed. The only casualties at this point were a Palestinian who was killed in Jordan by falling debris from one of their missiles that was taken out. Most of the 200 missiles were taken out, and this leads directly into the Iran nuclear prophecy from 2,700 years ago that's playing out right here on October 1st. Israel is bracing for attack. They've been bracing for attack. They've averted another attack, another miraculous God once again has come to Israel's for an miraculous interception and a miraculous defense of Israel from well over 200. I've heard between 200 and 500. The latest number I've heard was over 200 missiles, almost all of which were intercepted. Incredible. Tonight's attack could prompt Israel to take out Iran's nuclear facilities at any moment. They've been waiting for an opportunity to do it. They told Iran, if you directly attack us again, there's going to be a response. This could very well be an attack on the Iran nuclear reactors. One of the reasons Hezbollah is parked right north of Israel is because if Israel ever tried to take out Iran's nuclear facilities, Iran's plan is to use Hezbollah to attack Israel. Now Hezbollah is on its heels. They've, in fact, not only the pager attacks and the walkie-talkie attacks, but now Israel sent in hundreds of boots on the ground soldiers into southern Lebanon, bombing and taking out many underground missile-filled bunkers. So now Israel has had no choice. They had to react. They did react, and it was another miserable failure. Now the Jeremiah prophecy, as I said, 2,700 years ago is when this prophecy occurred. It's playing out now. According to Bill Salas in the book The Now Prophecies, Jeremiah 49:34 seems to deal with what is presently taking place in Iran. If that was true back in 2016, it's now rapidly spinning out of control every day. In fact, both parts of the prophecy are coming true. Jeremiah 49:34 alludes to Iran's military actions, specifically its nuclear and ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile programs. Jeremiah 49:38 then shifts the focus to Christians within Iran. Again, 2,700 years ago. And what's happening in Iran right now? Iran has the world's fastest, surprising, but they have one of the world's fastest growing Christian population. But they're suffering intense persecution under a cruel and intense regime. Again, 49:38-39. House church movements, Christian church movements have begun all over Iran, providing deep fellowship that has helped many Iranian believers remain firm in their faith amid great persecution. Now, many times in history, persecutions comes. Many weak Christians, they blow away like the wind. But in Iranian believers, many remain firm in their faith amid great persecution. We saw some of that in the same thing in Russia during the 1970s. According to persecution.org, Iran's regime has even sentenced some to death under charges of apostasy as spies threatening its Islamic system. So it's extreme persecution they're suffering. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah king, saying, and this is Jeremiah 49:34, saying, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might." What is he talking about? I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. The Elam prophecy. Note, Jeremiah, again, 2,700 years ago. Elam is part of the modern Iran that borders the Persian Gulf. Elam is the location of Iran's Bushehr nuclear reactor. It sits upon the conversion of 3 tectonic plates, and it's a nuclear disaster waiting to happen. Who were these geniuses? Okay, let's build a nuclear reactor. Where should we put it? Well, we've got this land over here. Let's put it there. There's room there. Well, there are three tectonic plates there. That probably won't be a problem. What could go wrong there? Earthquake? Nah, it won't happen. Iran also has contracted with Russia to construct several more of these nuclear reactors in the same area. So it's a disaster waiting to happen. The table has been set, and it's going to happen. But now they go and they've fired another 200 missiles at Israel, and Israel said, "Look, do that again. There will be severe retaliation," which means war. What does break the bow of Elam? Jeremiah 49:35. What does it break the bow of Elam mean? Does this refer to an earthquake of the faults in that area that caused a nuclear accident? Or does it refer to a military disaster, such as Israel retaliating after having another 200 missiles fired at him? Either way, a disaster is a disaster. Ezekiel 39:7 states that the Lord is going to uphold his holy name through his people, Israel. Let me repeat that. The Lord is going to uphold his holy name through his people, Israel. That's right in Ezekiel 39:7. Do you want to go to war against God? But if Iran nukes and destroys Israel prior to end times war, the Lord's plan to uphold his holy name through Israel would be impossible. Ezekiel 39:7 would not be fulfilled. In that case, the Lord, rather than Iran, would be humiliated. That puts Iran on a collision course with disaster. Folks, if you go to war against God, you lose. Any military strategist who says, yes, let's go against war against God, nothing's going to happen, we're going to be fine, we're going to win this battle, should be fired. You never fight a battle that you are going to lose. All right, Jeremiah 49:35. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. Okay, it's not going to go well. Why would God be angry at Iran? Consider two reasons. First, converting to Christianity today is a guaranteed path to severe persecution. That would be God's people being severely persecuted. Second, Iran is threatened to wipe Israel off the map. Over and over again, they've threatened that. The result of going to war against God will be a massive disaster for Iran. Why don't they see this? Jeremiah 49:36. And upon Elam I will bring the four winds, and from the four quarters of heaven, and I will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither outcasts of Elam shall not come. The four winds, a symbol of utter hopelessness of a scattered people. The people of Elam will be scattered all over the nations worldwide. Why are they getting so far away? Could it be nuclear fallout that they're running from? Jeremiah 49:37. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life, I will bring evil upon them. And my fierce anger, saith the Lord, and I will send the sword after them, till I have consumed them. Iran will be humiliated and beaten down by its enemies. Jeremiah 49:38. And I will set my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king and the princes, saith the Lord. I'd be shaking in my boots if I was sitting in those chairs. Jeremiah 49:39. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith the Lord. Alludes to the return of the restoration of the dispersed Iranians, those that fled the area when the disaster occurred. Eventually they return. Some may in fact be the formerly persecuted Christians. But how long are they going to have to wait? What's going to be the half-life of that waiting period if there's been a meltdown in the Iranian nuclear reactor in Elam? So there you go, folks. The Elam prophecy from 2,700 years ago is playing out right now. Just wait and see what happens. God bless you. Good night from the Midnight Bible Study.